Abdul,
What's up, my man?
how many emails is your platform processing per month now?
I don't know, man. Last time I checked, I think we had over like 275 million replies.
So it's at like 0 to 275 million in like 6, 8 months.
Dude, it could be last month. I actually don't know. Here's the crazy part because I looked at the number total. It could be 6 months, right? But I have a feeling there's a lot of warm up in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's definitely that number is 275 million. We got to go back and look at is it over 6 months? Because no, I don't know. I don't know. It could be. But when we look at it by the hour, we're processing so many by the hour. Even just like LinkedIn messages by the hour. I think last time we checked was like 100,000 LinkedIn messages that we processed.
That's insane. That's insane.
So I have a weird feeling that we'd probably be hitting those numbers maybe, maybe over a month, maybe. Yeah.
That's sick. And so how many replies would you say are going through the board? Do you have like any sort of tracking based on categorization?
So we're working on that right now,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's where the next public like data layer will come out is like, hey, this is the amount of replies based off of category that we see, anonymized. But here's what I do know. What I do know is 10x at least, just rough estimates, right? I'm not quoting the exact numbers will come out, but estimates from what I see is LinkedIn is ripping it. LinkedIn is going absolutely insane. At minimum 5x. Like, I mean, if I look at it, any snapshot of time and I took out the amount of email, like I looked at last 3 hours and looked at email versus LinkedIn will always be more than 5x more in replies.
Wow.
Always.
Like you mean leads, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Perfect.
yeah. So in that, I'm not looking at yet, okay, these are the actual ones that converted to booked meetings yet, but I think that's where we're going.
Is that as a percentage?
5x as it, no,
Are you saying
yeah,
5 times in terms of like like proportionally, or are you saying five
proportionally.
times like raw? That'd be crazy.
All right, let's see. If for every 10,000 replies that I see
Yeah.
on an email, I see about 45 to 50,000 on LinkedIn is what I am saying.
Wow.
And I don't think that that's the amount of mailboxes that, like, if you think about the amount of mailboxes there are on email versus LinkedIn, like, it's total different description. There's a
Yeah.
discrepancy, right? Like, so
That's why I thought like proportionally it was like more so percent based, but you're saying that like just raw reply volume more from LinkedIn. That's absolutely insane. And is that mostly like in mails?
no comment on that one because I don't know.
Don't know.
I have to
Okay,
look
no
at the
worries.
data.
Yeah, I would
But I have a
assume.
weird feeling. Here's the thing. What I do know, like in mails definitely is a big thing, but in mail volume wise, it just got a hit this week or something or last week or something.
Wow.
So the amounts that you can send actually went down. So it'd be cool to see what happens next month. For the remainder of the month and going into next month to see what those proportions still look like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the most email volume that I think of anyone I know. And so the real questions I wanted to get into is there anything you're seeing work across the board? I know you're optimizing the platform constantly. You want to make sure that people are getting the best booking rates possible. Master inbox is literally defined by the fact that speed to lead is the most important metric imaginable when it comes to following up. And that's the entire reason why my agency is moving over to it as well, to give our customers the absolute best service possible. So is there anything like across the board that you're seeing most effective?
As soon as somebody replies that I am interested, the people who call right away literally book more meetings. It sounds so obvious, okay? But there are people that say, "Hey, okay, I'm interested," and you write down a reply, and you're like, "Hey, here's a reply," and then some people just leave it at that. When works for you on a Monday? Blah blah blah. Here's my availability and timings, and then send it in through the reply agent. That's cute, in my opinion. That's great. However, if you did that plus enriched the phone number and just dialed, you would probably get way more people on the phone interested and say, yeah, of course, in with the meeting booked without them having to reply to anything. It's imagine it's been 60 seconds that you have told somebody yes, I want this, and you are on the phone with them in 60 seconds.
So the funny thing in there is we do a little bit of AI responses on our own accord, and we've been doing it for a while. If you're too fast, they're just like it's AI. So we actually had to add a slight delay to the response to make sure people thought it was human.
Oh, because like you guys were way too fast.
Yeah, it was just like webhook, open router, and then shoot back in, and it was just like you couldn't have even typed out the amount of things in the message in that amount of time. You know what I mean?
Okay, you guys were that is probably a bit too fast.
Yeah, it's funny. Speed to lead is extremely important, but there's actually like we found anecdotally that there is a limit. But I really liked what you said there. So are you saying like reply then call, or are you seeing people just raw dial? Forget the reply. I'm just going to hit the phone.
Yeah, they just hit the phone.
That's amazing. Interesting.
Yeah, they hit the phone. No, they hit the phone. No reply. Like no reply on the ring. Hit reply. Right. So like. Because the other way is like you're on the phone now. Now you can tweak your reply. Now you're on the phone with them. Like, hey, of course, no, I'll send this over. Yeah, here it is. Here I sent it. All right, you're putting in your whatever, or you're just booking in onto the calendar. The best is booking right onto the calendar right away.
Yeah, and forget the reply.
Then all you're in is follow up mode because now you have to worry about no shows.
Yeah, 100%.
Because sometimes you're so good in booking these calls that they are just like. Oh, okay, yeah, Tuesday. Okay, 5, whatever. Right?
You're just so damn charming.
Yeah, and then they don't show up, then that's a problem.
That's a good point. So, honestly, yeah, that's a good point. I think gotta have the right redirect after your calendar booking if they're the ones self-booking, and then also you gotta make sure that your follow-ups create open loops. That's one thing we implemented recently. Direct from Josh Braun, actually. I don't know if are you a big fan of Josh Braun?
I actually don't know. So I was just going to ask you, could you dig more deep into what do you mean by open loops? So
yeah,
I can learn,
I'd love to. Yeah. So like an open loop is basically you want to create a question that only you can answer in the head of your prospect. Okay. Yeah. So one of the ways you could create an open loop is on this call, I'm going to be unveiling the number one reason why 95% of founder-led outbound motions fall apart. I'm going to be unveiling what is the reason?
Yeah.
What is the reason, right? So stuff like that. And then number 2, adding value, right? So like, look, going to be terrible to like neither of us want to waste time. Here's a video that's going to give you exactly what you need to know and what I'll need to get out of this call to make sure we make the most of the moment. And then, and then I like to put at the end of my emails, if you hate this video, cancel now. Right? And so set the expectation that I also don't want to waste my time. So a mix of open loop and frame. But yeah, Josh Braun, for anyone listening, he has a fantastic video on YouTube called Creating Open Loops. It's only 7 minutes long, and I build all of our follow-up cadences around it because there's going to be things on your sales call that you unveil that will blow people away. And if you just frame it as the right statement, it's going to be like an obsession. I need to know. It's kind of like that headline you see in your newsletter coming through and you're like, 3 weeks for what? What? For what? Yeah. Things like that. But yeah, anyway, man. not to derail the conversation. That's basically what it is. For you, like you can create open loops inside of your cold emails as well. It doesn't have to stop there. Like we were talking about before the call, like Email Bison sending a cold email that creates a huge open loop. It says, look, this huge expert did a thing and they got definitive proof, not anecdotal, 12 million emails. And now they know which sequencer delivers the best. Third-party agnostic want to see it. It's like, who is it?
It's literally, exactly.
How can you say no, right? How can you say no? If it's relevant to you and you're the right audience, how could you possibly say no to that? You really can't unless you already have the data.
Yeah. At that point, like you're doing outbound, you say, who did it? The first question is like, okay, who did this study? So you want to know. What are the results of the study? You still want to know, right? Any point
do I trust the source?
Yeah.
I love that source.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Man. It's funny because I think I got one of my emails got that email and I loved it and I was like, man, this is great. This is like absolute. You should frame this because I know it's working so well. I can tell.
That's such a good exercise, by the way, is to just look at the emails you really like and look at the follow-up cadences you really liked to receive and just make a little document, maybe an MD file and throw it in Claude Code and just have that knowledge forever, to call back on.
Man, I don't know how many people are doing that. I have a weird feeling that we are in such an interesting bubble at sometimes as SaaS owners, business owners, agency owners, where we optimize so much of our life. But then the people that we sell to, like the person I was talking about, if I'm selling to somebody that's literally has like warehouses.
Yeah.
And I tell them, hey man, put it into Claude Code. They're gonna look at me like,
yeah, no shot. Yeah, absolutely no shot.
I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
It's funny. I saw a post earlier today about how ChatGPT is going to lose the consumer race because Claude and Gemini are performing so much better. I was like, no, it's the exact opposite. That's not the consumer race. That's
exactly.
like us, like hyper optimizers that noticed that it was 1% different on this response, and now I'm annoyed. It took me extra 15 seconds to get my cookie, my carrot on the stick,
No, man. Like, just going back to this, right? I'm thinking on my end. I'm keeping in mind with the Claude and then going back to reply management. We were looking at a way internally to say every single person that replies, they have a signature, right? Majority of the times people have signatures. Mm-hmm. The amount of data that's housed in signatures is obscene, right? So like
phone numbers out the wazoo.
Sorry?
Phone numbers out the wazoo in signatures.
Exactly,
yes.
Right? So I went to the team and said, hey, what we need now is we need a little button in Master Inbox that says agents, and you can create your little agent. Because like right now we have a section for reply agents. Why do we call it reply agents? Why don't we just call it agents? And now you can create an agent to do any action based off of anything that's inside Master Inbox without it being an MCP yet, right? So let's make a UI on top of it. So the agent will go, and the criteria is you can give it the context of your whole thread and then tell it to extract X amount of details, update a field in Master Inbox, update the label. And somebody said on my team, the designer was like, hey, I have all of these things to do. Could I do it in like Cursor using Claude? And I'm like, wait, what happened to Figma? So you're prototyping now in Claude? What's going on?
Just got to get the right Claude skill.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this is insane.
That's sick.
Like, no, it just made me think.
Can I
of
say that like that's so, like I think that's an underrated thing that like a lot of the best companies are doing in B2B, which is creating like a playground for their users to play in and then indexing into where they go. I think N8N does a great job of this. Yeah. They add nodes based on usage they see from custom nodes, for instance. Yeah. I think unlocking it as just like an agent is a fantastic idea because you're going to see common use cases pop up that you guys never would have implemented as features, or alternatively, that wouldn't be worth the time to implement as features without knowing that people would use it, right? So yep. I think that's so user-centric. I do want to cycle back to what you said about booking people in via the phone.
Yeah.
Anecdotally, our booking rates, we track them religiously because I think it's like one of the most important KPIs you can track from an outbound point of view. Our booking rates literally 3x'd overnight the moment we added warm calling. Like,
wow.
It redefined the value we were able to bring as an agency in a matter of weeks. And then in the matter of one consulting call, shout out to Troy Aitken from BuzzLead, one of the absolute best cold callers and warm callers I've ever seen, and trainers. 30-minute call, we ticked up another 70% on our booking rates.
Wow.
Just coaching, lessons, scripting. I was put in the hot seat as well. I had to show my guys that I could also pull off a warm call still, which was fun. It took me back to the old knocking doors for Bell days, getting people to buy terrible internet services. Not my proudest moment. That said, we don't do what you said. We do an email and then a call. So I'm absolutely going to take that back and do a split test on that and see how it performs because I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Now, inside Master Inbox, are you guys making it as easy as possible for people to pull those numbers in and be able to execute those calls?
That's the work in progress that's happening right now because that's what we're seeing. We're going to our biggest agencies and saying, okay, what are you guys doing as a process? Mm-hmm. And we realize this is a process. So for each customer, of course, is different, right? Which is what I'm interested in is how it performs for you in your split test, because and then it gives data on the type of customer that which path performs better, right?
Interesting.
Is that customer right away on that email, right? Like as soon as they see it, and then they get a phone call? Psychologically, how does that affect them? I'm very interested in that now. But just going
I
backwards.
think it creates a great excuse for the call is the way I always thought
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So like you send the reply and then you call and you say, hey, I actually just followed up with you. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet. Right.
Very cool.
And so it just creates the opening line for the call is basically our thing.
Oh, very, very, very interesting. The other way that I saw it, but I don't know if I have like call data to know this, but it's a, hey, John, I was just about to write you an email, but I thought I'd give you a ring.
I like that too. Yeah. I think it can go both ways perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's, this reminds me, man, I think I used to call a lot of people before. Now I just take numbers and sometimes FaceTime them. But that would be another cool thing to do. But
FaceTiming smart or the $1 PayPal trick.
Oh my God. Bro, that gets so much hate. It's unbelievable. But
I think it's great as a follow-up tool. Honestly.
Okay, follow-up tool, that I can see. But
or sharing Looms, the share feature in Loom. You can actually just deliver straight to primary using Loom servers by just sharing to an email of choice or a list of emails.
You see, I think you're giving the hacks away, brother. No, but okay, going back to like, are we making it easier? Like, we have a way to facilitate people calling. I think that's what we're going towards.
Nice.
So that's why I was like, hey, we're going to come out with the agent and then that agent. So they're still debating with me on building a feature versus the agent because there's more work on one versus the other, weirdly enough. So it might be that we just have like the agent now that does your replies or does your AI categorization automatically also extracts your phone numbers and updates them inside our phone number data column and then updates a label. And we give you that as a workflow. So you can basically say, person was interested, phone number exists, label gets updated as interested, and call now. And then now you have a list that you've created in master inbox for all the call nows. So you can go through with them. But the question now is like, we have our customers that have data across, they want to send that call data or who to call to any of their dialers. So they can currently do that through a webhook. Anytime somebody gets tagged as call now, send it to that dialer and then have the dialer send data back to update the label or move them to a list. So we created the second part already. So you can now remove labels, update the labels, and push people to different lists just using our APIs. So
amazing.
Call 2, call 3.
So you don't have to do it via filters, for instance.
Yeah, if you don't want to. No, you can just update labels and everything.
So that's what our initial build out looked like. Is like we were just saying like, well, let's just filter by this custom variable, for instance, right?
Yeah.
And then we know that they're like a callable lead kind of thing. Which this sounds way better. I'm excited.
Yeah, because you can update the label.
Yeah.
You can add a label to a prospect because once you have the data of the prospect data, you can add the label to the prospect, update that label, fire another webhook based off of that update, and change it to a different list, which then fires another. So you can create the loops that you need to create the workflows that you want, So
what do you think matters more, follow-up content or just following up consistently?
I think it also matters how many times if you should even follow up. So like, for example, somebody asked like, hey, if this is the third time I'm following up and I've not had a reply at all, should I thread my subject line? And the answer to is no, maybe just have a brand new email. Don't remind them that they never replied back to you in the first time. So that's one. But like if they are interested and they follow up, I think that's totally different.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, follow-ups to engaged leads for sure. Just things that would be happening inside master inbox. Yeah,
if that's the case, then right now I've seen 3 at least. From what I'm seeing usage-wise, people are setting up.
Yeah,
is they have like 3, and every single time I've asked this question to people, it's like how many? I've always got an answer of 3, and I don't know why that is. If maybe it's the easy answer, like I don't know.
I think sometimes the space falls victim to mimicking whoever has the biggest YouTube following. sometimes,
that probably is the
or
case.
LinkedIn following as well, right?
That's probably the case.
And so, like, I'm of the belief that no one has tested enough to really, really know. For the most part, I think you're in the unique position where eventually you're going to know, which is really cool, and
Yeah.
why I wanted to talk to you today. You're seeing more data than I think probably any human on the planet, basically, when it comes to emails coming through, unless you're like a Google engineer that's just like watching
Yeah.
watching the stream, they're in the matrix or something.
Yeah.
But for us, what we do is we just do it by intent. So like if there's a meeting request, we are absolutely relentless. Like we are just going to keep going, keep hammering. And personally, I like to break it up with memes. And that's why actually like it's been refreshing to use Master Inbox, is because you can go ahead and just sequence a meme, sequence an image without having to do like HTML snippets and being scared that your message might not be going through in the way you want it to, which is never good because you don't want to look stupid. Like who sends what human being would try to send Bernie Sanders being like, I am once again asking. And it comes through as HTML 165.
That's true.
That's a good way to ruin a lead.
Oh man, that's interesting you say that, because the request I got, I don't know if it's today or yesterday. I lose track of time some days, man. But basically, they said it was like, hey, can we get an API? So they asked if we have schedule send, and I was like, yeah, schedule send's like coming out very soon, and like for each user, and they're like, well, if you can do schedule send, can you do schedule send times 3? You see where this is going? Where it's like schedule send this one, and then wait 3 days if no reply. Schedule. I was like, that's a subsequence. They're like, no, but we want a custom one for the prospect level. And can we have it via API? And I was like, wait, okay, where are we going with this? What is the
why can't you just handle that call system on your backend? Like, wouldn't it just be like
we can 100% can.
Not you. No, I mean like the person.
They can.
Yeah. They can totally do it.
But I was more curious. I was like, dude, what are you getting at that you can't get at from a subsequence or some other way of reaching out to people?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what we do is every single time we want to do a follow-up, we customize the follow-up with our reply agent. Every single one of them is custom to that prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was like, okay, we can still do that. Right? You could just do the delay on your end and send the data to us rather than the other way around.
That's what we do for our meeting request follow-ups, for instance.
Okay. Yeah. You see, sounds like, dude, why do we need to build it in and have a queue system on our end when you could just do that?
Yeah.
So now there's interesting requests that come in, man.
Yeah.
Every day, every single day.
That's on the note. I think 3 is a good place to start. Me personally, what we do is we just try to make sure we send something contextual, something interesting, or make it easy. That's our goal. Make it easy, be contextual, or be interesting. And so, like, I guess, under interest falls humor, and that's where kind of memes come in there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like a big one for us is like we'll have like this email is programmed with easy response technology, and it's like reply A for reply B for reply C for, and it's like
email is programmed for easy response technology.
Yeah, that's like one of our favorite emails. Our meeting request, like agentic subsequence, that's like a standard template that gets like updated with various AI variables kind of thing, AI snippets. But that's like a big winner, like a really big winner for us. I think we get like 80% positive response rates on our meeting request subsequence right now, and all of them are just generated by AI.
Wow. Dang. This is great. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of reporting to come out, man. I can't wait for that, because there's going to be I don't know if I've talked to you ever about this.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me. I'm pretty excited about it, I got to say.
No. Did I tell you about the leaderboard?
Oh, leaderboard. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you can be like, you can end up on like an expert list for Master Inbox or something off the leaderboard.
If you wanted to.
That's cool.
Because he goes 2 ways. It's a
Master Inbox
sword.
Wrapped. Incoming.
Literally. No, because internally, if you look at it and you have SDRs and stuff and people are managing the inbox, you can see everybody's response like to speed to lead. by user.
Ooh, that is so cool, dude.
Yeah.
We have the most unsophisticated way of monitoring that. It's literally like
Okay.
lead comes in as an alert. You press the button when it's
Yeah.
replied to.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
like
so now we're tracking the actual time
it's
that
just a
actually takes you
mess.
to do
It's
it.
just a mess, yeah.
Yeah. So you could be like, "Hey, John, yeah, it's taking you 18 minutes to reply back, but Sarah's killing it."
And then you can ask
just,
Sarah, "Hey, what's helping you reply so fast?" Right? It
oh,
becomes a team meeting,
we were
right?
just gonna be like, "Hey, Sarah, teach John because John is an idiot," but that's also nice.
That's good team building.
To teach which one?
I can see the difference between agency owner here and SaaS owner in that in that handling of the situation.
just based off of that right there.
That's a diff for me.
Oh man. No, I always assumed that the guy's probably on TikTok or something, man, just not replying back in time.
Hey, that's a whole nother one. What about like AI videos as follow-ups? Have you been seeing this? Has anyone been mentioning this to you?
They haven't mentioned it to me, and honestly, that's one thing I haven't looked at. Oh, really? Because I wasn't looking at AI videos. I was looking at on LinkedIn reply. Like the one that came up was like, because we integrate with HeyReach, right? So they were saying, "Hey, we're trying to send videos through your platform, and then can we have them go through HeyReach?" And we were running into issues with that. And I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "Well, we want to send personalized video." And I always thought that was like, we used to do stuff like this. Do you see what I mean? Like, I mean, it was a little bit ancient, but then I think depending on if you're going, what type of sales you're doing, it may make sense. I just haven't seen it across the board at the moment.
I think the cool thing is like VO 3.1 based videos where they're meant to be like just cute and funny.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're just in the early stages of testing it. We have one for like a lending company that we're going to be pushing live. That like we pull in Debounce. Debounce has this great feature that lets you actually pull in the profile image of an email account.
Okay.
And so we can either pull the profile image from there or LinkedIn in some cases. And then we can actually embed the prospect into the video alongside our client, right? And
Fair
so
enough.
we're doing something like for the lender, like we have a couple split tests that we're going to run 4 videos. We're doing video split tests, which is crazy. I never thought I'd be doing this, but one of them is like you're in the Sahara Desert. You're in an oasis, the founder, right, and my client, and there's 100 lenders behind you, and they're all vying for your attention, and there's like a sandstorm of money. And then it's like talking. It's like, yeah, you don't need to meet with all these guys, right? You can get access to 150 lenders from one form, right? And it's like my client talking to the prospect in the video.
Oh, I like
which
it.
is cool, right? It's like, it's giving like Geico vibes, but one-to-one Geico videos, right?
All right, now I have a question for you. So when you send this, are you sending a landing page link that has the video, or are you sending direct to video? Like that I'm curious about now.
We want to do direct embed is the goal, but we're okay just doing like a landing page link. The goal is to just say, look, like we're even considering making it a whole campaign as well. Like this probably isn't something I should be even saying, but we're planning on doing like subject line, I made you a video.
That could honestly, that works.
I made you a video. Can I send it? And then below it says, that's the message. Just didn't want to send a link and go to spam.
That also is real. That's actually so real.
It's going to be very expensive, though, is the thing, to do this at scale.
Right now, today. Yeah.
Right now, yeah. It's like 35 to 70 cents a video. So,
okay. And doing it so it should better, it needs to really matter. Those prospects need to be.
Yeah, just make sure you've got a dialed list, right? And, we're going to do a small experiment, 1,000 leads, and we'll see where it takes us. But I think anyone's going to be excited to receive a silly video. I think like we're going to get a lot of funny responses.
Yeah.
Like it'll be interesting to see if there's a lot of carryover from video to actual meeting and people having like proper interest in the offer. But yeah, the other one we're going to split test against is the prospect on a rocket. And there's a bunch of lenders with money bags, but one holds the golden bag. And it's like, and your best rate. And then the money bag fuels the rocket and they take off. And
I like this.
so your business can reach any goal.
Okay, so now
So
the question.
it's
I
like
this.
one-to-one ads. It's so
Literally,
cool.
it's literally it's literally personalized ads at scale. That's what you're saying.
And you can do it at scale. That's the thing. So like we're going to do the first test where we just do it for like positive replies, see how it goes. And then eventually like we're just going to, if it works really well, we're just going to send the link.
Okay, so the reason why I was thinking, right, why I asked about the landing page versus like, I don't know how it even be direct to video, but if it is a landing page that you're sending them to, which is, I'm not saying build custom landing pages, but just say like whatever video tool you're using to display the video, to send the link, it has the calendar on the right-hand side of it.
Yes, call to action.
Or below it, or something, call to action wise. That's why I was asking.
Dude, the head of growth at 11 Labs used to run 2 startups that I used actually in a row, his own startups. And the second one was unbelievable. For $100, you could generate 10,000 unique landing pages every single month. And this was in 2022. 2022.
Okay.
10,000 unique landing pages with unique videos, with unique text that you could simply create via API by uploading any variables you wanted from your lead list. Which he must have been ahead of his time, because I know so many agency owners that would love to try that tool right now, you know?
Yeah.
And so
what happened to it?
He just couldn't find traction, right? I was like, man, are you talking to the wrong people? Like, what's going on? He's like, I can't get people to like pay for it because they've never tried something like it. And I was like, that's fair, you know?
Yeah.
But I think nowadays the market's so much more technical and willing to use APIs, whereas back then it was all CSVs.
Correct.
Anyway, I bring that up because I think that would be the exact solution for what you said. But I don't know, it wouldn't be that hard to like programmatically spin up. I think what you would do is you just call like the Gamma API for a templated Gamma, and then you would just like input the video embed and then do an embedded calendar as the standard part of the template.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, I was one of my old clients used to he did the content for the Gamma founder, and so I was one of the driving forces of getting the Gamma API for this purpose, to be honest. I was like, you've got to do this.
This is why I think you came up with. I was like, dude, he came up with that so quick. Just in my mind, I was thinking, you came up with a solution to it, because the first thing I was thinking was like, man, I don't know, can Webflow do this?
Figma and Webflow totally could. I just feel like it'd be like a little bit expensive, and their API probably doesn't have the limits.
Yeah, no, 100%. Then my next thing is, because I'm old school, so we go to WordPress.
Also, Google Docs API, to be honest. Like if you really want to make it simple, and also Google Links generally deliver better, is my understanding.
Yeah, because it's native to majority of people just using Google, man.
Exactly.
It's so easy for them to do it.
Anyway, we've gone way off base, but in a pretty fun way. I think that's a pretty decent spot to kind of wrap up here. Is there anything that you want to share that is going to knock people's socks off?
Look, it's things that everybody already knows, man. We go towards the more high value, high ticket sales we do, the more multi-channel we go, right? And if you look at every tool that's happening right now, everybody is going multi-channel more than it previously, right? There were tools that were out there that were doing multi-channel before, but now people are taking a more conscious effort to go multi-channel. But what's curious about it is so few people are talking about calling. And it is the one thing that constantly works. Mm-hmm. And people always shy away from doing it.
Like cold calling.
Cold calling. It could be cold calling, it could be warm calling. Either one. I'm just saying that calling works.
Oh, incredibly. It would be the number one thing. It's the number one recommendation I make to people if they say they're having a trouble getting like booked calls through the line. I go, how fast are you following up, and are you calling? Yeah. That's it. Those are the 2 questions.
And I think the people, this is a statement, the agencies who don't call in 2026, there is no way they're going to be able to outcompete the ones that do.
No shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
Absolutely.
Not unless they exclusively work with like an SDR team. Like,
correct.
Like huge SDR teams or something.
Correct. That's very different. But I mean, like if they're out there to produce results on booked meetings and then book to revenue, and you are not calling, and there's no component of calling in your business, One, you're keeping money, like there's money on the table, right? I've sat down with agencies and I've sat down and said, wait, you stop at interested and you're at 4K? Dude, you could be at 10 with call. And the differential for you to add that for that business is nothing comparatively. And if you have 30 of them, what is going on here? Like your business automatically overnight can 3x and you're not doing it? It doesn't make any sense.
One of my positioning statements is end to end instead of fragmented on my new landing page and my new VSL. I need to take a clip of you just saying that and just shove it in there. Like, it's exactly the argument I make all the time when people are like, why wouldn't we just handle the replies ourselves? Right? Speed to lead. There's so many arguments, but also from an agency owner point of view, owning the process for as long as possible is your best way to ensure results happen. So yeah, that's fantastic. We didn't touch on the multi-channel factor, but always, Master Inbox, another main reason I switched over, being able to easily coordinate LinkedIn alongside email, absolutely massive. And being able to, touch people in multiple ways. What a terrible way to phrase that. But being able to engage with people in multiple ways. Master Inbox facilitates that really well. So yeah, thanks for chatting, Abdul.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure.